I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. On this episode of Eric Loy Interviews, we talk with Himetokki, and we did this, as part of a live stream that Hime had going on. We kind of joined it in progress as her stream's gotten going. First, we find out a little bit about Himetokki.
Alright, so hello everybody, I'm Himetokki, a Bunny Princess VTuber. It's a pleasure to meet you guys. I like to do primarily art, but I also play indie games and Tetris on stream.
Yeah, we're talking like real Tetris, like rip,
Real Tetris,
I mean,
as opposed to...
as opposed to that stuff that I played as a kid, where you just kind of slowly brought the block down, and you had plenty of time to worry about the next one. No, you play this like a Hydra Cat that we interviewed Hydra Cat, and I guess you two played.
Yes.
That stuff is intense.
It is, yes.
I don't even see what's going on most of the time, and suddenly I hear bing, and there goes about four rows at once. When did you get started? When did you get started with the Tetris stuff?
I started playing Tetris on Facebook, actually. On Tetris with Friends, there was this game on Facebook, and I would play that, like it's a player versus player format. So I would challenge my friends, and we would play it that way. So I've always been interested in the 1v1 Tetris. I don't think I've ever played classic Tetris, actually.
Yeah. It actually has, like, Mario is actually in it, too. The original Tetris.
Mario?
Yeah, it's the original. I'm old enough where I've played it on the NES.
That is like classic, yeah.
Yeah. I actually beat it on the highest level. I thought I was really hot stuff for that back in.
I think it's valid. Yeah, you are hot stuff for that, Eric.
Yeah, well, that was back when my thumbs worked better than they do now. But
it's okay. I feel myself getting slower as the years go by as well.
Oh my gosh, don't even start.
Yeah.
Hey, back in my day, we played Pong and we liked it. When did you get started with the VTuber thing?
So I started in 2020 close to when the pandemic started, and then everyone was in lockdown. That's when I started to watch real life streamers, and I started off as a webcam streamer, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you just decided that after you saw the VTubers that was a little more comfortable for you?
Actually, I honestly miss webcam streaming sometimes. I do. Yeah, it's just that because for privacy reasons and things like that, when I started streaming in 2020, I was in my last year of university. So as a student, there isn't many consequences to putting your face out there and doing silly things on the internet. But as I transitioned to full-time work and being in a more professional setting, I had one incident where I had some colleagues who found my stream.
Oh, no.
And it was a little bit awkward after that. So when I decided to kind of hop ship to VTubing, it was more of to have that anonymity to separate my work and my streaming life.
Yeah, and there are a lot of people who do it for different reasons. A lot of folks that I've interviewed talked about being socially awkward, or for the reasons that you said, just wanted to have that anonymity. And some people just enjoy it like they're playing a part in a voice acting type of situation. But
it's certainly grown on me over the past, I think, almost 3 years that I've been a VTuber.
Yeah. Almost 4, isn't it? I mean, you started with you've been doing this for a little while. You're practically a veteran of the game at this point.
I can't say that I've had as much experience as a lot of the streamers who've been on the platform for a way longer time, but I've been around since the pandemic and I haven't left yet. I heard that a lot of VTubers have quit, those who started in 2020 and onwards. So there's a few of us who are still around, but a lot of them have already left the community, yeah.
Yeah, well, there's different reasons. Some people get burned out with it and come back. Some people join, like anything. You see people in VTubing community jump in with full-fledged 3D models and motion capture and all the bells and whistles and everything, and and then after 2 weeks they're burnt out and don't want to do it anymore. I mean,
Yeah, so I think I count myself pretty lucky having had about 2 years of streaming as a webcam streamer and kind of solidifying that I enjoyed it before I transitioned to VTubing. So it's just a different medium of streaming, but I still get to enjoy the baseline,
oh yeah,
how it goes.
yeah. Well, you're more
Yeah.
used to the format, and it does become a bit of a grind, I guess, for lack of a better term, because you do have to work to
Yeah.
get everything on and get everything going. Um,
Oh,
it,
tell me about it. It's a
yeah.
lot harder than just turning on my webcam to stream, that's for sure.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, you got everything. You got to make sure that your avatar is correct. You have to make sure that your
Yeah.
background's working. You have to make sure all your programs are working. You have layers upon layers upon layers of things, backups, and
Mhm.
you have
Mhm.
schedules to keep, and all of that stuff. It does.
It
There
gets
is.
busy.
Folks
Mhm.
got to realize
That's
that.
a happy kind of busyness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is, but it is still busy. I mean, it's you got to put some
Mm.
effort into it to get a ways, and uh, and
Yeah, of course.
and I hope that people understand that it's a for some people it's a hobby, some people it's a lifestyle, some people it's how they make money. It's
Mm.
different things to different people. For
Yeah.
you do a lot of art streams, right?
I do,
Yeah.
yes.
All right. Now tell me about how you got started with your art. Were you a young person scribbling in class, and then decided you were going to make it a career, or was it something else that got you involved in it?
So for myself, I've always enjoyed drawing ever since I was young, and I
Mm,
just never stopped.
mm.
So I can't really pinpoint when was the starting point, but I can tell you what kind of motivated me to draw in the anime style, if you want to hear it.
Sure, absolutely.
So when I was 12 years old, and this was still during the time where Singapore still had the morning session and the afternoon session schools.
Hmm.
So we would have like maybe the primary fours to primary sixes, which is about 10 to 12-year-olds who will come in the morning, and then the younger ones come in the evening.
Oh,
So I would come in the afternoon, and our classrooms were shared. And there was one day that I found a little piece of paper under the table that wasn't mine, but I took it, and there was a drawing of a cute little anime girl and a box of sushi on like just a torn up piece of note paper that
yeah,
I assume the senior had left under the table. And then I took that and copied it.
yeah.
And since then, I was like, I like this style. I want to know what it's called. So I went looking around. I asked my mom, like, what is this style called? And she helped me look it up. And she's like, oh, this is anime drawing or manga drawing. And she started buying me those how to draw manga art for beginners sort of
Yeah,
books.
yeah.
And that's where I started to draw in this style. Yeah.
So so you were self-taught basically
Yeah.
with the books that kind of showed you how to do it, but you learned on your own with it.
Yes.
Yeah. So when did
And to this day, I have no idea who left that piece of paper, but they changed my life trajectory completely.
they certainly did. I mean, you hear about
Yeah.
life-changing things happening in different ways, and that's certainly one of the different ones. That's a new one
Yeah.
for me, but still, you never know what's actually where lightning is gonna strike for you, and that time it just happened to be under that particular
Exactly.
desk in class.
Yeah.
The um, when did you make a transition over to digital?
Oh, that happened when I was about 10 years old,
Mm,
where my mom, I realized that Windows had Microsoft Paint on it.
yeah.
So I would start using my mouse to like try and draw the characters I did on paper onto digital. It didn't turn out very well because a mouse is a lot harder to control and the brushes in Microsoft Paint are not great. At least
Yeah.
the preset ones. I didn't know how to use it.
Yeah.
So only after that, then I asked my dad if there was a better way to draw digitally. And he happened to have a tablet. He's a photographer, my father.
Ooh.
So he had Photoshop.
Hmm.
He had a touch tablet that he would use to edit his photos. And he taught me the basics of how to at least select the brush tool, select the color I want and like draw it onto the monitor.
Hmm.
So that was how I started after that.
Oh, that's cool.
and I started drawing.
Did you learn on your own how to use these programs, or did
uh,
I mean did
yeah, I did. For the most part, I learned how to use them on my own.
yeah? Well, that's cool. I mean,
I think by my time there was YouTube already. Although the tutorials were not as good as they are nowadays.
yeah.
Like nowadays, it's so resourceful, the internet. But back then, I only could either look at library books or watch kind of clunky videos online to learn how to do it.
But they
Yeah.
were recorded on a potato and put online. That's
I
like
don't even remember what it looks
yeah,
like.
the quality of some of those old videos now you look and it's like, how did we even know what that was?
Right?
I'm used to 3D quality stuff where I can reach in and grab this stuff, and here I can't even I can't even squint and find out what's going on. But you were able to do that, and you just kept going with it. I mean, obviously you've
Hmm.
refined your style a little bit. Have you taken any classes since then on art, or are you still all self done?
That's a great question, actually. So, I actually stopped using digital art for a long time because I found it too challenging after a
Oh,
while. So, around the age of 12,
I give
when I
up.
started secondary school, I just didn't touch the computer art for a long time.
Yeah.
But I was still drawing on paper, so I kept that up.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was seeking tertiary education after secondary school, I went through a course that was sort of a double major course in art school.
Okay.
So I took a course which was a fine art course and a graphics design course, and we covered all sorts of things from pottery to digital art, video editing. It was just the whole shebang. I don't know
Yeah.
why it was everything to do, but it was like a really all-rounder generalist kind of course, and I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was from there that I learned how to do all these other things, but there was no digital illustration.
Everything but what?
So
Everything but digital illustration.
everything, yeah, everything but digital illustration, which was what I was looking forward to learning actually. So I was a little bit disappointed, but I do believe that engaging in the other art forms have also kind of supplied knowledge to my digital art.
Mm-hmm.
So now that I'm out and working, I use most of my time polishing up my digital art instead with all this other stuff that I've learned.
That's cool. That's good. And some people thought that when I've talked to them about art and going to an art school, they got frustrated with it because they already had a style going in, and the art school kind of tried to shoehorn them into something else.
Oh
Did
yes,
that happen
yeah,
with you?
especially with the anime art style.
Yeah.
That happened to me in secondary school because I
Mm,
took art as one of my main subjects.
mm.
And my art teacher wasn't a fan of the anime style very much. So I kind of had to oblige and do whatever other realistic sort of representations of stuff for those modules instead.
Yeah.
But in my free time, I would still illustrate in anime style.
So as soon as the class bell rang, it was back to the anime.
Yeah, as soon as I was in my other classes, I had my other sketchbooks out and drawing my own thing already.
Especially in math class.
Yeah. Oh, for me, it was every class.
Every class.
I drew it every class, but most of the time the teacher wouldn't bother me because I was quite decent at my studies.
Yeah.
So they didn't worry about me. I would do my work first and then I'd be drawing, but I wasn't interrupting anything. So they were
Oh,
like, whatever.
oh no, you wouldn't be
Yeah, I was a
dawdling
good
around
student.
drawing things in the margins and on the desks for the next person to show up. Nothing like that, would you?
Oh no, I didn't leave a legacy for the next person. Maybe I
That's
should
what
have,
it was.
right? Who
You're,
knows?
you're
I
supposed
could
to
have.
you're supposed to pass the baton.
I could have passed the baton to somebody.
So when so you said you did all sorts of art in that class. So when is your pottery stream coming up?
Oh my god, I was terrible at ceramics. I don't know why. When I'm working with 3D medium, there was sculpture that we had to do and ceramics.
Yeah.
And both of those were such a struggle for me. It could be that I just don't have any upper body strength. I have two noodle arms that just don't work very well with having to like push clay and like carve stuff on wood. So I didn't do very well for those.
So
But my lecturers were quite lenient, so I
Yeah.
still did okay
Yeah.
in the essay components and stuff. So they're like, okay, we will pass you. We'll give you a B. And I was like, all right, I'll
Thank
take
you.
it.
Thank you. I used to imagine seeing a stream where somebody's got a blob of clay, and that clay's moving around circling around and round and
On
round
the wheel, yeah.
on the wheel, and they're just
Mhm.
not strong enough to do anything with it. put their hands on it.
I've seen ceramic streamers on Twitch though. I'm
Oh.
always in awe seeing them do their craft.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, when you see
Yeah.
and you talk to somebody who really enjoys what they're doing and is good with it, like say you and Art, for example. I mean, I could hear you light up when you talk about it. I could just hear that. But it's when you get to talk and see somebody doing it, no matter what, even if it's not your bag, if it's not something that you're good at. I'm terrible at art. When I try to when I try to draw a stick figure, I get hit by lightning. That's how bad an artist I am. Nature turns on me when I try to draw something. But
Oh dear.
but the watching somebody who is good at it and enjoys it, it's an absolute pleasure, which I think is one of the reasons why art streams do so well.
I think so too.
You know, so
Yeah, I love watching art streamers as well. There's a lot of streamers who are doing art who don't talk though.
mm, yeah.
Yeah, that's like a trendy thing. I've done that as well, where on days where I'm too tired, I'll just mute myself, but I'll still be like typing.
You just hear the typing.
And it seems to work.
Yeah?
They just want to see the process, the
Yeah.
magic happen, if you will.
Yeah. Now, when you're streaming the art online, chat, don't listen. Don't listen to this. Do you get backseat artists?
I have gotten one viewer who used to backseat art me all the time.
Oh, oh, oh.
And I don't know why they would do it. It's very strange.
I wouldn't do it that way. I would do it this way. I know. I don't want to use that.
Yeah, like I would voice out when the program wasn't working properly, because sometimes the selection tool and stuff glitches out and things aren't moving properly, and they're like, "You should be able to do this." What? I'm like, if I could do it, I would be doing it. Like,
Well, I wanted to talk about something else too, because I heard
Sure.
this the other day, and I put it together. Singing.
Singing, yeah.
Yeah. So have you always been a singer, or have you wanted to be a singer, or is this something that's come up recently?
You know, all the questions you're asking me all stem from my childhood. So yes, I used to want to be a singer as well when I was younger.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah, I sang a lot in the shower. I sang a lot. Okay, so I don't know about you guys, but my mom showered me up till I was about 10 years old.
Uh-huh.
So we would always be in the shower together.
Mhm.
And I would always be singing to her, like random songs that I heard online, or like theme songs to the cartoons that I would watch. I would sing while I was showering. And then since then, when I was 8 years old, I also participated in a singing competition in primary school.
Ooh.
But it was like a Mandarin singing competition, so I didn't really know what I was singing. I just memorized the words and let them flow out of my mouth by memory, but I can't remember what it's about. I think it was about a mother goose and her little ducklings or something.
Something like
It's like
that,
a little
or
kids singing competition. Yeah,
something along those lines.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But you've enjoyed singing for quite a while, obviously.
all my life, yeah.
So what we're going to be doing on this end here, I don't think I've run this past you, but I'm going to do it anyway.
I half expected it after Hydro's
Yeah.
interview.
Yeah. Well, we've got you not too long ago recorded a song, Rabbit Hole. Is that what it is? The title?
Oh my god, that was the fastest song I've ever had to try and sing.
Yeah, it's amazing how you're able to keep up with that. It's a tremendous cover, really is.
Thank you.
Yeah, folks, if you get a chance to listen to it, head over to the YouTube site and play that and play it over and over again, so like the numbers go way up. But we're going to be playing it
thank you.
we're going to be playing it right now on the interview side as well.
Sure.
It's recorded.
Let's go.
I want to know first, why did you choose this particular song, especially considering it's like running through a minefield?
This particular song was an earworm for me. So I think similar to the very first mix cover that I recorded was Yoasobi's Biri Biri.
Mhm.
And I selected it because the first time I heard it, I was like, oh man, I really like this song. It's super cool.
Yeah.
I want to cover it. So I recorded it the same day. And I think the same thing happened with Rabbit Hole when I heard it for the first time. I was like, wow, this is really challenging and a really cool song despite the underlying themes.
Yeah. Yeah, the
So I
theme.
was like, okay. So I worked towards recording it after that initial impression.
Well, it's an amazing
Mm.
recording. It really is, folks. We're gonna go ahead and play that right now, and this is Hime's recording of Rabbit Hole on Eric Loy Interviews.
Are you gonna stay pure until you die? Are you gonna stay pure until you die? Lust and affection can become such a big mess. You're not that special, I just don't have no interest. Dear, I'm sorry, is it really what you want to hear come out my mouth? Oh no, don't you sleep on powder for this, okay, okay. Why did we false hope and set exceed expectations? I wonder. Right from the start, we don't do the heart any physical fun. It's your fun. Mr. Devotion, do you want to hightail out this fantasy? Oh my, guess you're in to commit some travesties. Hop step, one more time. Blue on yours, now listen to me. I don't really like any rage jealousy. Shut up, put my hair like a long girl. What does it mean? I'm a glad should call me a honey. I think love is not worth your time. Just stay like a bunny. Into no strings. I don't stay pure until you die. Get down to work, don't delay anymore. I can't hold them. I just want to sore. Treat me like Ricky, me. Let's go. Don't kiss me, no, you're not doing that. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not Prince Charming. Do like a bunny. Animals in the streets, that's all we'll be. Are you gonna stay pure until you die? Alright. Bursting over, he thinks we're lovers. Please don't be deluded, I'm a vampire that's yearning for more. Fabrication, dissimulation. You wanna back up a large see your sweetie pie, say to me some meaningful word. But to my go, why won't you let go? I think you're mistaken just cause we did some dirty deeds. If he sleeps up, it'll cause him hiccups. Not sure how you wanna resolve this at all, though you need to get strongly tackled. One more time! Put on yours now, listen to me. I don't really like any weird jealousy. Shut up, put my hair like an Angora bunny. Does it mean I'm a glad should become your honey? I think love is not worth your time, just stay like a bunny. Hands in no strings. I don't stay pure until you die. Get down to work, don't delay anymore. I can't hold it down, I just want to sore. Treat me like Rick, you mean the spell. Don't kiss me, no, you're not the I'm not Cinderella, you're not Prince Charming. Do me like a bunny. Animals in the streets, that's all we'll be. And you stay pure until you die. Why can't bring just don't get freaky? Your clothes off, them up, better treat me. Lust cannot hold back, I'm offended. You make it work with all my passion. I think love is not worth your time, just stay like a bunny. Don't wave your strings, I don't wanna leave. Are you gonna stay pure until you die? Aww. Oh, my, you're unexpectedly. My, you're freakier than me. Now, I like this pirouette. Let's go, dancing away for drenched in molten sweat. My, we're just little bunnies. My, let's keep doing this, please. Now, I might just fall in love again. Deeper into the rabbit hole we go. Oh no.
And you just heard Rabbit Hole by He-Man. And how did you keep up with the lyrics like that? I mean, you did a great job with it, obviously, but how did you keep up with it?
I recorded them in alternate verses. So I didn't do one full straight recording. I did one verse, then the other, then one verse, then the other. And some of the lines in between, if there's overlaps, I'll also record it separately. So you put it together at the end only.
Oh, man, I thought you were going to do it in one setting.
It's all an illusion.
Well,
I can kind of keep up in real time, but it's not as good because you can't pronounce everything clearly.
That's the way it is. We did that in radio too. Sometimes we'd get a commercial in radio over here. When you get a 60-second commercial, you have to do it in 60 seconds. You can't do it in 62. You can't do it in 57. So you'll do it over and over again until you get it right. Sometimes they give you a minute 30 worth of copy that you're supposed to get in 1 minute. Oh my gosh!
My!
Yeah.
You must be really good with timing then. Probably better than me, actually.
I maybe when I was younger, but when the tongue takes off and you don't know what you're saying, it really goes off rails pretty quick. The song itself, it's a great cover. It really is. When you heard it finally mixed down, and the way that the song is put together, what were your feelings when you heard it for the first time?
So this cover went through quite a few revisions. So it was back and forth between me and the mixer quite a bit to just tweak timing because it's really fast, tweak the timing, tweak the the kind of impression that it is, because the original song is a Vocaloid voice, so we had to find a way to make my natural voice sound a bit more robotic. And they did an awesome job. Shout out to Timun, who helped to mix the cover as well. Yeah, the end product was amazing. I was so happy with it. I couldn't wait to share. So I shared it with my subscribers' channel before I released it on YouTube. I just couldn't wait.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
I mean, it really more encore, more songs,
Thank
please.
you.
And it's
I will try.
It's extremely well done, and I hope we hear more from you as far as that goes here pretty soon. Because it really, first of all, I'm amazed at you. Even with the editing magic that was put in, it's really well put together. You did a great job with it.
I agree. Yeah, I think they did an amazing job.
Yeah. That being said, you are an artist, which means you're never quite satisfied with things that you're done. All artists keep tweaking things when they're done with something. The hand, I added another thing, this, that, and the other thing. Is that true for you too? Are you ever truly satisfied with your artwork when you're done?
For me, I feel like I try to be a content person overall. So I always tell myself, yes, it might not look the best. It might not look like my art senpai's kind of standard or industry standard yet. But it's the best that I can do in the moment, and I'm satisfied with that.
Yeah. Yeah. So you don't sneak back in and add a little bit here or there when you're done?
If I do want to revisit an artwork in the future, then I'll usually redraw it.
Oh, the whole thing.
Yeah, so there's a trend that is like, redraw artwork from a year ago or like 2 years ago, and there you can really see your progress. So I think in the moment sometimes we don't feel satisfied with the result, but over time you will see it. So I know that there's going to be progression, and that keeps me going despite, it maybe not looking how I've envisioned it at that time.
Oh, excellent! A lot of folks get to the point where, especially with artwork, and well, if anybody considers themselves an artist, they're never quite satisfied, and they have to be dragged kicking and screaming from whatever canvas they're using. You're done. You're done. Stop. No, but I got this, and especially if you've got a lot of tools at your disposal, like so many people who use digital arts do. The temptation is probably still there to keep it. Well, what if I put this in there? What if I use this filter? What if I did this? You don't have that eating at you when you're about finished with the project?
Well, I put in all of the post-editing work, like the liquefying, the filtering, the adjusting of colors, before I determine that an artwork is done.
Yeah.
So I think that post-processing is also a part of the process. And then when I consider it done, it's usually like up on my socials already. Those are the ones that I'm like, all right, it's good to go. I'm happy with how it looks for now.
Keep your hands away from the screen. It's done. Stop messing.
We'll look at it in 2 years.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, what do you got planned for the channel? You've got some big things coming up for your channels coming up here soon?
My Twitch channel?
Mm-hmm.
Well, honestly, at the moment, sometimes I feel a little bit directionless because I do so many things at once. And it's a lot of the times it's in the moment like, oh, today I feel like doing some singing, or today I feel like recording a cover, or today I feel like doing art and catching up on all my commissions. And it's, for me, I don't do streaming as a full-time thing. It is something I do like after my full-time work, and I come home. I plan the week ahead, but at the moment, I don't foresee that I'll be able to hit the level where I can live off of it yet. So I'll just continue using it as a medium to de-stress, to express myself, and hopefully I can make people happy along the way. That's all I really ask for now.
You already hit that goal. Right, Chad? Right, Chad?
Thank you.
Yeah, seriously, you're obviously very extremely talented with all of the different things that you're able to do, entertaining people online. The music is awesome. The artwork is great. I really want to hear and see more from you in the future. Don't be surprised to see me lurking around in your stuff every once in a while. But Folks,
I'd be happy to host you.
Folks, we're going to have all of the links in the description for the interview. You want to see what Hime's got going on. You're taking commissions right now?
Yeah, commissions are almost always open for me. Yeah.
Yeah. So check it if you want to see if you want Hime to do some stuff for you. Check it out, please. Just a wonderful person to talk to, and obviously someone who's absolutely enjoying what they're doing. Folks in chat, you're lucky to have such a host.
You've been a wonderful host yourself, Eric.
Well, I appreciate it. And please come back again. We'll talk and we'll get everybody updated on the world of Hime and what you got going on.
Yeah, let's check in another time.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.